Hi, it's Mario Toneguzzi, and welcome to 5 Questions. Click on the subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook. Hello, and welcome to 5 Questions with Mario Toneguzzi. Joining me today are Caitlin Bullock and Adam Colazetti, who are co-founders of Enta Solutions. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Mario.
Okay, let's start with what does Enta do?
Well, Enta is the passionate partner that helps companies transform to being perpetually epic.
So what does that mean? What is perpetually epic? So you remember Blockbuster Video back in the 90s with the VHS tapes? Maybe you took your kids there on Friday nights, right? It was so great. You walk in, the lights are there, and all the new releases are just all over the wall, and you go and you pick your movie and you go all the way around probably 2-3 times.
It was epic.
Yeah, it's just so epic. And then what happened? Netflix comes along and disrupts
Everything.
the whole thing, right?
So can you imagine, like, in your business, if somebody came along and disrupted everything? Are you ready for that? Like, you know, a lot of businesses aren't even thinking about that. They're so stuck in the day-to-day whirlwind, right? That, and putting out fires. And so they're not able to look up and either watch out for that disruptor or be the disruptor. So what we do is help them get in place and get their heads out of the day-to-day weeds and putting out fires so that they can look to the future.
What's the story behind Enta and how it was founded?
Well, we actually met in an audit. Caitlin audited me. Oh
boy.
I guess I did okay. But we worked for an engineering firm doing pipeline design. And we worked on a project where anything that could go wrong in that project did. We had a tough client, we had
Changes, tons of changes.
Politics, you name it, all happened. But we pushed through, we got it done, we got our construction drawings out, and it was, we were celebrating as a team. We pulled it off. It was amazing.
Until
right.
We had the project manager come out like white as a sheet. What happened? Like, what's going on? He says, client just called me and the contractor cleared an entire football area with the trees in the wrong area.
Oops.
So, I was a quality lead on that project, and then, Caitlin, we need to figure out what happened, right? And it came down to, after a whole bunch of investigating, that, somebody missed a step with the best intention of a process to try to expedite the process, but they didn't understand the risk behind it. So that's when Adam and I really said, like, there's a better way. The people have to be connected. It has to make sense. They have to understand why they're doing things in their day-to-day job to really buy in. And so we quit and started up Enta in a downturn. right. So and then we had this client, and they were big client. We were so nervous because we were one of many consultants, right? And these other consultants were, the guys that own their own buildings, big, right? And here we are, like, coming up the elevator to the top floor of this company, and the doors open. It's game face.
Yeah,
game
like,
face.
Looks ready. Right?
And funny enough, they asked us to, review something that the other consultants did, and it was technically right, all of it, but it just didn't feel like the company. And that's when we really understood, and we said this to our client, this doesn't feel like your culture. And they went, wow, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and we had this epiphany, right? It doesn't matter if something is technically correct. If it doesn't speak to your people, if they can't look at it and understand that this helps drive the business forward and make their lives easier and better, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So that's how we birthed this idea of perceptive systems.
It's Mario Toneguzzi. Do you want to highlight your company on my next episode of 5 Questions? Click below. Let's talk about perceptive systems, which is an idea that, as you mentioned, you birthed. How is that brought to clients today?
Well, we really believe we have this vision where the whole is truly greater than the sum of its parts. So you have a group of people in your business, whether it's 10 or 10,000, where everyone comes together and 1 + 1 is far greater than 2.
But in order to do that, your people need to be kind of self-actualized. So they need to understand and invest in themselves a little bit. But so you have your mind, body, soul. You talk about a whole person, right? Your whole self. But in a business, the whole business is, so your people are your culture, and then you have your processes, the steps they need to take to do their business, and then the tools, like whether it's software or hardware, that help them do that. And there's this middle spot where they all overlap. If you can get operating just perfectly, it's called what we'd like to call the operational sweet spot, right? And that's the whole business. And so Perceptive Systems really is tying in the culture to the processes and then putting those tools in to find your sweet spot.
And we usually start with Perceptive Systems with a program we call a culture hack. And it starts pretty up here. It's talking about your values, your mission, vision. Who are you as a company? All right, we get into recognition programs. We've got some cool team building stuff in there. But really the point of it is to charge up you and your people and get them all excited. And then we go look at the business and the risky areas. And maybe we make a process or procedure or something like that. But let's do it in an exciting way. Let's do it in something that speaks to, if entrepreneurship is what your company's all about, then let's make it exciting. Let's make it open to ideas. Let's make it epic, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned when you started up, tough times, obviously, tough times right now out there for a lot of people. And, and where we live, obviously in Calgary, it's incredibly tough because you have the double whammy of obviously the COVID virus and of course the oil price collapse, which started about 6 years ago now.
Right.
So being entrepreneurs, being through these times, what advice do you have for fellow entrepreneurs on how to get through this?
Yeah, I mean, great question. And I hear you. We were, COVID hit and we paused about 90% of our contracts.
Wow.
It was huge difference. And so what we ended up doing is we leaned into some ideas of embracing the digital world, right? Like, what do? You sit back on your laurels? No, you can't. So we leaned into this whole digital world, and we actually learned 3 new softwares that have helped our business huge. And so that's one piece of advice is we leaned into those digital worlds. And I think that nowadays we have to, right? And I think we're going more remote. And so with no end in sight necessarily, lean into it. And the other thing that was really important was collaboration.
Yeah, so it started with some of this digital platforms, but we reached out to other small businesses, other entrepreneurs. We came up with this idea of karmic business. And it's not our idea. I've heard this many other times in other words or phrases. The idea is to give, to collaborate, right? It's not a sales pitch. It's, hey, Mario, I see you're doing some awesome stuff. Like maybe we can work together. Maybe we can help each other out. If not, I'm happy to connect you to this guy over here. He's, he's a media guy. So we started doing that. We started connecting people and just really altruistically wanting to help and being genuine about it. And it just led to more conversations and more collaborations. And now here we are 6-7 months later, and business is booming for us from clients that have come from places we never thought, like all corners.
Wow.
So it's
some clients our way.
Right?
Yeah. So I think just believe and lean in.
Yeah. Okay, as we get through these tough times, when you look ahead and look forward, what's the vision for what Enta will be and where it will be in the coming years?
Well, this whole digital world has opened up a lot. And the cool thing is it actually changed us a little bit and where we were targeting. So, we really saw an opportunity to be able to offer this to smaller or medium-sized businesses that typically, management consulting fees are outside of their budget, right? And we thought, but these guys, these are the ones who understand the culture. These are the guys that really have the opportunity to build it right the first time. So how do we offer that in a way? So we came up with a really cool digital platform, and it's kind of based on the concept of give a man a fish? No, teach a man to fish. So helping them invest in their own people through training, giving them the tools, and then strategic, coaching sessions with experts instead of experts doing it for you.
Yeah, really the idea is how can we up the value and keep the cost down?
Yeah.
So by taking this coaching strategy, rather than us going away and do it, you do the work and we coach you through it. It saves you the time and the money. And then at the end of the day, you're empowered. You've got the ideas. You're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
It's that perpetual forward motion, right? That's what we're really trying to do. So we're pretty excited about it. We call it Perceptive Systems It's online, and we just want to share it with everybody, and we can share the link with you and everybody. We really just want to offer it out to anyone and everyone who needs it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks both of you for joining us today.
Thanks, Mario.
Thank you.
That was Caitlin Bullock and Adam Colazetti, who are co-founders of Enta Solutions in Calgary. This has been 5 Questions with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember, if you want someone you know to be our next guest, click below in our description. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe so you'll never miss an episode.